saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot, they like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop it, ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, ass need to stop it, ass shit. The prophets. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Just, you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and no, boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Wrong with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just pay with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why it exists, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Demons lurking, you Twitter searching behind them curtains without a purpose. Bread and circus, just peep the verses. Every time when evil surface, living out these evil curses. I see my people hurting, COVID got these people nervous. It's a damn shame, can't even walk in the store without a mask on. I'm a wise man, mad, praying oppression won't last long. Turn class on, Captiati dropping something heavy. Can't lose focus, I'm ready. How we gotta fight these demons? Whole lot of niggas being bitches, whole lot of bitches being petty. Black, Hispanic, Native, we all niggas. One West, home, mother killers. Even though they hate me, they gon' feel us. Fuck them other niggas, we the realest. And we ain't never scared. Just pay attention, my nigga. Here comes the circus once they give you the bread. All this bullshit I ain't feeling it. Gotta peep game, be vigilant. All of my niggas stay diligent. Everything I rap, we living it. And I'ma prophesy until all of my people rise. Just open up your eyes, pay attention.
That's how they get you. Just pay attention to the bread and the circus. Bread and the circus. That's how they trap you. Try to distract you with the bread and the circus. Bread and the circus. That's how they get you. Just pay attention to the bread and the circus.
Hey, Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, underneath Commander General Yohana, and we're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups, man. All right, man. Tonight's topic, man, we're going to go into something heavy as usual, man. We're going to go into the history and the culture of the Greeks, the Romans, and now today the American culture, on how they deal with homosexuality and all of their lustful ways, man. Because one thing we have noticed about living in this society is people in America are so lustful. You know, they lust after everything: money, cars, clothes, women, men, jewelry, everything. This is a lustful society. And this society has been back this even during the time of the Romans, even during the time of the Greeks. They have always been built off of lust. And another thing that falls in place with being so lustful is that homosexuality lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That's always been a custom of the ancient Greeks and the Romans. And us in the Isupk, and those who are new that are tuning in, the ancient Greeks biblically were the Edomites. The ancient Romans were the biblical Edomites. Even with the Caucasian race today that calls themselves the Americans, they are the ancient biblical Edomites. And, you know, we're going to tie y'all into some stories and show y'all some history on their culture and how they were back then and how they are today. And you're going to understand why America and all of these various countries who fall underneath America are so lustful, and their homosexual lifestyle is pushed in all of these various parts of the world where America puts their stamp at, or the Roman Empire. Because y'all don't notice, a lot of people do notice, but there is a lot of homosexual activity going on in that Roman Catholic Church. You know, y'all think that Pope is almighty and glorious in the eyes of God. That Pope is a sick pedophile, man. He enjoys pedophilia in little boys, man. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he, underneath that robe, he has nothing on. He goes where he feels and just lift the robes up, and you think people kissing his ring, but they are kissing other things to show this man worship as if he's a god. Because that homosexual lifestyle has always been a part of Esau's culture, man. Now, I'm going to get y'all some history, man. I'm going to pull up some articles and some history, man. Trying to think, what should I start at first? Because, ooh-wee, this is very disgusting. So, like it. All right. Now, this is an article, and it's crazy because this article was dropped last year right before Valentine's Day. Because that's another heavy topic we're going to bring out probably one day this week or next week on Valentine's Day. And the origins of it and where it comes from. Because we all know that when Valentine's Day comes around, people are real lustful and real sexual active, and people just give themselves over for anything. You know, you got sisters giving their box up to a man for a box of chocolate and some roses. Or just because he tells her she's beautiful, gets her a card and she feels like, you know, he loves me, let me give him the box. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Valentine's Day ties in with that lustful spirit that is upon America, man. That homosexual spirit that's upon America. Think about how many homosexuals are going to be out here celebrating Valentine's Day. When the origins of Valentine's Day came from homosexuals.
Right.
Did y'all know that? Did y'all know the origins of Valentine's Day came from homosexual? Two homosexual soldiers who had a burning lust for each other, and they fought hard for each other because, you know, they felt like, you know, this is my lover, and I'm not going to let him die on this battlefield. So let me fight harder for him. And when one of them died, the other one went back and took revenge and cut the guy's heart out as a token of, this is my dedication and my love to this man who I love. And y'all walk around with the heart shaped everything. Good night. Good night, man. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and start this article. This is from The Conversation. And the title of it is, Homosexuality Embracing Queer Sex and Love in Ancient Times. All right. And it reads, it says, Greek homosexuality has been set upon a pedestal, deemed a worthy and respectable model for romance by philosophers, writers, and lovers alike. The reality is that the love and sex for the queer community owe more to ancient Romans. Their approach was grittier, dirtier, and sometimes just as romantic. However, its outlook on sex and love we are only now coming to embrace. So this article is telling you that all of the, is it okay to say queer? Oh, I don't know. All of you Qs out there, that's what I'm saying. All of you Qs and all of you Qs, I don't know. You know, I don't know if saying somebody's a queer is a bad thing, but this is what it says, the queer community in this article. But they say, pretty much what they're saying is the LGBTQ something else they added on the letter new community owes their lifestyle to the ancient Romans. So that whole homosexual lifestyle that everybody embraces now and indulges themselves in and love dearly to their heart, and sisters love homosexual men and let them do their hair and all of that, and sisters like to be on sisters and all of that crap, all of that was embraced by the Romans. You owe all of that to the Roman Empire, because that was always something that was a part of their culture, that homosexual lifestyle, that lustful lifestyle that they lived. You know what I'm saying? All of it falls in place together, that lust and that homosexuality. All right, I'm going to keep reading. It says, ancient Greece appeal to gay men is much better known. Pioneering activists such as John Addison Symonds and George Cecil turned to Greece as a respectable model. So these ancient philosophers, John Addison, who was born in 1840, who died in 1893, and George Cecil, who was born in 1867. Good night, this nigga lived for a long time. He was born in 1867 and he died in 1950. He was an old homosexual. Damn, it's lucky. I feel bad for anybody that was underneath his slavery. All right, but they say he turned to Greece as a respectable model. So they respected Greece's model on how they embrace homosexuality. Because homosexuality is a part of America's culture. It is a part of the oppressors. That's who they are. That's why when you turn on your movies and you watch them, like especially with your Edomite comedy movies, it's always some gayness that partakes in these movies. Right. And they treat it as if it's funny. Some gay scene, like some movie I seen last night, I had to turn it, but it was Esau, and it was a horrible movie to watch. In one scene of the movie, the Edomite was shooting lemons out his ass. Like, I was like, come on, man, what the, like, and everybody's laughing like it's funny, and I turned it, I was just like, you know, this is what they call funny, homosexuality, gay things, you know, that culture. To them it's funny, but to us, it's very offending, man. You know, one thing about the black community back then, we frowned upon that homosexual lifestyle because we knew it was not right in our culture, man. We knew something was off with it. We knew you had a mental issue if you were a man trying to portray yourself as a woman, or if you were a woman trying to portray yourself as a man. And that lesbian lifestyle wasn't really too bad back then, like that man-on-man lifestyle was back then. You know what I'm saying? But that was always something that was frowned upon in the black culture. We never partook in those events. A lot of people became homosexuals back then because they were raped. You know, you had what they call butt breaking, where they would take men and rape them in front of the whole, black, Latino, and Native American men. They would take our men and rape them in front of the people, in front of all the other slaves, just to make an example out of them, to show them this is what we do to your strong man. But that was actually gay. That was actually a homosexual thing to do. You know, to them, they felt like it was something to show everybody, like, yeah, you know, this is how we destroy your men. But that was homosexual as it could be, man. Like butt breaking. You rape a man in front of his family, his kids, and don't think that that's going to do psychological damage to a nation of people. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why a lot of our people are the way they are now. Because you think about that man who might have been booked, they did that to, and how his life is going to be from now on. How he's going to be looked at and how he's going to feel as a man. If he doesn't kill himself, he's going to do the same thing to somebody else just so he doesn't feel like he's the only person that has to endure this type of pain. So now guess what he does? He rapes somebody. That person he raped, they rape somebody. That person that got raped, they go rape somebody. And then it becomes an on and on cycle. And that's why we have this culture inside of the black community, this homosexual lifestyle. Because this was something that was pushed on us by the so-called Caucasian man, the oppressor. But that whole lifestyle has always been a part of them. They've been doing this since ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and now even in America. All right, I'm gonna keep reading this. It says, okay, it said pioneer activists such as John Addison Simmons and George Cecil Ives turned to Greece as a respectable model. It offered them a legitimizing precedent for elevated and spiritual love between men. They found this through Platonic philosophy and historical and mythological examples of devoted lovers. Greek love is celebrated in their work for sublimity and authenticity, appreciation of male beauty. Good night. However, when describing Roman love and erotic practices, the words such as gross, obscene, and lust abound. To them, Roman homosexuality was not expressed with romantic love, but with righteous orgies. Good night, man. That's how the Romans would express their love to each other. They went to go, Sly, you got it.
Good night. They said righteous orgy?
That's what it says in this article.
Righteous. Man, so like, if I could, I want to.
You got it, huh?
Good night, man. And this is what they push on the black community.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what they push on every black household, in every black hood, in every black church. This is what they pushing right now. It says a righteous orgy. When we know, according to the scriptures, that is so unlawful.
Right.
You understand? But they keep on pushing us and keep on further and brainwashing us, man. You understand? Well, man, I don't know what you bring on. It's so heavy, man. You understand? And in me, I cannot stand anything that has to do with any type of homosexuality, LGBTQ plus, whatever the case may be.
Right.
You understand? Because of course we all know that that's biblical prophecy, but at the same time, while we're living in it, it's like it's just so disgusting, man.
Good night.
It's so disgusting, and not to, you know what I'm saying, carry on and whatnot, but Joe Biden is pushing this.
Right. Good night.
President Joe Biden of America is pushing this agenda. You understand? And this is what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians not realizing, that the person that they voted for,
right,
you understand, is following the same footsteps as Barack Obama. You understand? And in his quote, Joe Biden quote unquote says that the transgender and the LGBTQ plus community is going to be the face of America. You understand? The face of America. It is number one priority, man. He said it is a priority to make sure that their laws and that they're protected, man. He's going to push this. He's going to push it and keep on pushing it, man. Black Hispanics, Native Indians need to realize, man, that the time is near. You understand? It's time to, to strap up those boots. You understand? If you're a young man, brother, whatever the case may be, if you're a sis, man, it's time for you to get in these classes, be submissive, be that kind sister, and be that kind brother, man.
Damn right.
You understand? Listen to these priests and prophets, man, because we've been prophesying this since 1969, man. You understand? And of course, recently, you understand, within the early 90s and 2000s, man, and when Officer Bun came into the truth and I came into the truth, we've been hearing this. You understand? Have we not been hearing this, sir?
Damn right.
Understand? And now we are living it, man. You understand? It is literally right before our eyes, man. So Israel, man, listen, man. It's time to take this thing serious, man. Shalai, sir.
Man, right. Hey, get that brother a hand, man.
Shalai.
Man, right. Now, the brother, what he was saying is so heavy, man. Like, this is what y'all voted for, man. You know, Joe Biden follows in the footsteps of his ancestors. He want righteous orgies as well.
Exactly.
You know, why do you think he's pushing for this agenda of LGBTQ plus members to be the face of America? Because they want to live this lifestyle just like their forefathers did.
Right.
They want to be able to do all types of wickedness and all type of lustful sins that their body desires, man.
Right.
And us as black people, just like a sponge, just like a lost puppy, what do? We soak it all up and we're quick to follow it, man. Mm-hmm. And our people had the audacity to go out and vote for Joe Biden. And now you're starting to awake and realize what he's truly pushing. Like we said, we had that class where we said the first thing he put into place on his first day of being in the office was transgenders can play on the football team with girls now. You know, that 6 foot, 300-pound brother who's 19 years old in college can now go dunk on your daughters with a wig on.
Right.
And you have to sit in the crowd and take it. Mm-hmm. You have to deal with it. It's nothing you can do. You see your little daughter out there about to go shoot the ball. You got you got Magic Johnson's son come out there and just snatch the ball out of mid-air, take 3 leaps down the court and dunk the ball and act as if he's that woman, that female. I ain't gonna say what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what our people have been pushing for, man. And all of this ties in with your Valentine's days and your birthdays and all of these days where you're just lustful and want to worship yourself. All right, I'm going to keep reading. All right, and it says, it is often linked to the notorious emperor Nero. Like, y'all don't know, Nero was a Roman emperor who done so much wickedness to the nation of Israel during his time in his reign. Like, I think Nero was the one who tried to come kill Paul them back in the day. Yeah, Nero was a disgusting bastard, man. All right, and it says, the hedonistic ruler who married both women and men, a man who was believed to have enjoyed penetrating as much as he enjoyed being penetrated by his well-endowed husband. These authors also criticized the license of Roman writers, including Petronius, whose novel, The Centurion, became a byword for the Roman decades. Catullus, in whose work and tender love verses for women and boys are found alongside shocking sexual imageries. Also frequently attacked for obscenity were the poets Juvenal and Martials. So this is telling you, man, that these sick bastards, man, they were just filthy, man. Like, this is what goes on behind closed doors. You know, everybody talking about those Illuminati parties and those conspiracy things. You know, they said what's his name, George Bush, went to that college where he was with Skulls and Bones, where they say he laid in the coffin butt naked and then got out the coffin and you just heard people screaming because they still partake in these sick, satanic cult things that they like to do. You know, what do you think is going on in your Christian church, man? Your pastor is penetrating and being penetrated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they was coming out with Tyler Perry. One of the guys came out and said, you know, he was Tyler Perry's lover, but they didn't try to push the article because they don't want to put that type of image on Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? But you can look at his smile and tell that boy got sugar in his tank. That boy got sugar in his tank. And you can tell, even Tank the singer got sugar. Tank got sugar in his tank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, man, they follow out the oppressors, and our people fall and partake in this lustful lifestyle, man. Let me get a couple scriptures out. Let me see, can I find them right quick? If you could you get me James chapter 1 verse 15? This is the problem with our people, man. We like to follow after the people that oppress us and live their lifestyle, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about that movie Life, where that brother who got himself killed. That same, and the sad thing about that movie in Life is that same brother that played that homosexual in Life also played Joanna Man. Like he played a homosexual in Life, and then he turned around and played a cross dresser in Joanna Man. And that was his big break for movies.
Right.
You know, you played a homosexual who went with Jagalang, and then after that, you played in another movie where, damn, you know what's crazy? Joanna Man could actually play in sports right now. Because Joe Biden just passed the law. Now Joanna Man is going to be just like that. You're going to have a lot of Joanna Mans out there now. Dominating the sports and balling on you and all of that. Joanna Man's gonna be all over the place now. It's like you read it when you got it up.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 15. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Because that's what our people are falling to, man. We have conceived ourselves in lust. And with that lust that we try to fight for and fall for, man, it brings forth sin. And what is that sin, man? That homosexual lifestyle, man. The whoredom. And all of these different things we partake ourselves in, man. You know, you got brothers out there lusting so hard, man, that, you know, they'll go sleep with any woman, man. And go out there and make the mistake and sleep with a woman who's truly a man.
Right.
You know, like some purple guys that we know. You know, go out there and think they trying to sleep with a woman or a prostitute and find out that it's a man. And now that same sin that you was lusting out there has brought you into sin, and now that sin is going to bring forth death, man. You know, you're going to get yourself killed, or you're going to kill somebody and end up in prison or in the graveyard, man. Trying to follow after your lust rather than follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man. If you could you get me Peter's chapter 2 verse 2 Peter's chapter 2 verse 10. I'm gonna read a little more on this article also. Alright, I'm gonna read a little more on this article. Alright, it's called we're on the part where it says Rome embraced. It says demonizing Roman vice was politically convincing. Doing so highlighted the virtue of Greek homosexuality and bestowed a similar virtuous shin upon those who denounce Rome's debauched ways. But for those who did not feel the need to apologize for their desires, the Romans provided a positive model. While Greek homosexuality was rather bloodless, used to demonstrate the love between two men could be respectable, Rome is able to encompass a much queerer and more varied set of erotic possibilities. When Rome is embraced, love and sex need not be mutual exclusive. This can be seen in the anonymous and clandestine circulated in 1893 by the pornography novel Telena. It nods to Rome, and the novel includes sex scenes with language recalling the imaginary found in the work of Catullus and Martial. For instance, in orgy, cross-dressing men are titillated by paintings that recreate sexual explicit Roman morals. There also are passages on Rome's obsessions with huge rods reflecting in this worship of the god Prius, who was famed for his enormous member. But this is who the LGBT whatever follow themselves out there, man. Good night, man. Good night. You don't even want to see the ancient god of man, this is disgusting, man. The ancient god that they worshiped back then, it is a penis with a tail and wings. Good night, man. That's what people are worshiping who worship their homosexuality, man. This is what you're worshiping, man. You're worshiping that ancient homosexual culture of the Roman Empire, man, who did all of these wicked and sick things, man. They had gods where they worship rods, man. And you mean to tell me we should listen to Joe Biden? That's what we should do. We should really follow in Joe Biden's footsteps. The man who wants to push homosexuality and he wants to push that agenda of us being acceptable of that type of lifestyle, man. That's what he's pushing right now, man. And y'all gonna fall right into it, man. All right, I'm gonna go to another article, man. This is you can read that scripture if you had it too up.
Oh, you said 2 Peter 2 and 10, sir?
Come.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness.
And those who walk in the flesh after the lust of uncleanness mean those people who want to do the desires of their flesh, man. And all of the things that the flesh has to offer sometimes offers uncleanness. And what is that uncleanness, man? Their homosexual lifestyle, man. Because that is very unclean, man. Right. What's clean about two men penetrating each other? The only thing you're going to get, man, is a stinking situation, man, and a bunch of diseases. What do you think that HIV comes from, the AIDS comes from, man? That is a curse upon the nation of Israel from the Most High himself, man. Two men are not supposed to be having sex with each other. Two women are not supposed to be in the bed trying to have sex with each other, man. You know what I'm saying? All of that is just something that they lust out of, and it's uncleanness. You can go ahead up.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government.
And they despise the government. What is that government? It is the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High has established. You know, where it says that a man should not lie down with mankind as he do with a woman. If he does, his blood should be upon him. You know what I'm saying? That's that AIDS virus that is upon you, man. That is that curse, man, that is upon the nation of Israel. Why do you think the HIV and AIDS and STD count runs rapid in our community? You know, they say that black Americans here in America, we got more AIDS than they do in Africa. And we know how filthy them Hamites are. Them Hamites get disgusting. You know, they notorious for raping and mutilating albinos. And, you know, I seen one thing that was talking about where these Hamites were so disgusting. That's so disgusting. When they would find young other Hamite girls who were pregnant with babies, they would cut the breast off the women just so they couldn't breastfeed the baby. You know, they was doing this in the 90s and the 2000s, and they still are doing this now. Would cut the breast off the women just so they couldn't breastfeed the baby. And that's for all you African lovers out there too, man. Let's go back to Africa, Mother Africa. All right, go ahead. You go down there and see what they do to you. You go ahead. You can go ahead out.
Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what our people are. They're not afraid to speak evil. You know how hard it is now for you to go out here and speak against the homosexual culture, man, the LGBTQ community. Like, if you say something about them right now, man, you could lose your job, your livelihood. You could be sued. Like, you can't tell a homosexual that, you know, it's wrong to be gay. They're going to be so proud. You see the homosexuals out here, you're like, hey, it's wrong to be gay. This is my life. This is how I want to live. This is the lifestyle I chose to live, and ain't nobody going to tell me different. And, you know, nobody tells them different until what? They catch AIDS. You know what I'm saying? Or you see that transgender man who's been lying to these various men so much about his gender, and you find him dead somewhere, shot in a car or shot in the field somewhere. You know how many cases they had there happening? They had so many cases of where men who were transgender, who were not afraid to speak evil, were just going out here trying to put brothers who didn't know that this was a man on blast. Like, I'm gonna tell on you because, you know, you tried to sleep. I'm gonna put you on blast. I'm gonna go ahead and let people know how you really get down. So a lot of them brothers, rather than be publicly shamed for being tricked or being a homosexual, they just go kill the brother who's a transgender. Go murder him and shoot him in the car and go spend the rest of their life in prison and don't even give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people who follow after their flesh and lust for this uncleanness, they speak evil, man. They ain't afraid to speak evil. They don't give a damn. They speak how they want to speak. They proud. They arrogant. You know, that's why now you turn on your television and you see nothing but homosexuals on your TV, man. You can't even watch cartoons with your kid without them trying to push that type of lifestyle on your children. You know, they want homosexuals to be proud. They want them to stand up and just don't be ashamed anymore. And they try to treat it like homosexuals have had to fight the same struggle as so-called African Americans and Latinos and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were fighting to stay alive. We were fighting not to get hung from trees.
Right.
You know, they fighting so they could go have sex with another man.
Good. No.
Or for two women to get in the bed and kiss on each other. That's what they're fighting for. They're fighting for wickedness. But we were fighting really just to survive and have an equal chance in America to be able to make something out of ourselves. And now you turn around after Martin Luther King's civil rights movement, and now guess who has the civil rights? Guess what all that marching that we did back then got us right now? You know what I'm saying? It got us homosexual rights. Homosexual rights. And everybody, this month also was what so-called Black History Month. Everybody's going to get up and thank Martin Luther King for this great service that he did, not even understanding that his civil rights movement didn't have anything to do with black people, man. It wasn't for us. It was for the homosexual community, all of these different heathen nations like the Chinese, the Japanese, the Africans, and all of these other nations who wanted to come over here. Now they can come here and build themselves up. Now with the homosexual culture, they can build themselves up and nobody can say anything about it. Nobody can speak against them. I remember the brothers were saying that the homosexuals had built up enough money in somewhere, I think it was New York, and they bought an apartment complex. Well, they wanted to house other homosexuals who were transgender men. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're doing now, man. That's what we have to prepare our kids for, man, and be careful with. If you could you get me 1 John chapter 2, verse 16 also? I'm going to keep reading on that little. You can just hold it for. I'm going to keep reading a little more. All right, now we're going to go back into some more of this history on this homosexual lifestyle and their lustful ways, man. All right, this is homosexuality in ancient Rome, because we just gave you a brief detail on how it was in Greek, how these Greeks were notorious homosexuals, man. Right. Alexander the Freak, they call him Alexander the Greek, but that bastard was sick too. You don't think they were out there raping men and women? Mm-hmm. They were doing all type of evil and wickedness in the Greek nation, man. Why do you think everybody was afraid of them when they came in? Not only would they not kill your people and do all type of harm to you, they would violate you to the extreme. Violate you to the extreme, rape your sons, take over your villages, rape your women, rape your kids. You know, why do you think everybody was afraid of the Greeks and just decided to fall into order? Nobody wanted to see a group of Caucasian men marching into their towns with knives and swords and just be as brutal as they could be. And that same type of lifestyle, that the same way that they were back then, they're still the same way now, man. Look at all the times during slavery where they would come into where we were living at in the little shacks and all of these little towns, these little small little cities and little places where they tried to put the slaves off of and would take our women and take our wives and rape them, or, you know, try to catch them by themselves and rape them and kill them and just do all type of evil harm and sickness to them, man. Like, these are the same people, man. Their culture has never changed. They have always been wicked, homosexual, child molesting, raping bastards, man. And nothing has changed. We're going to get into this, and man, we're going to tie this in with today's Roman Empire with the Pope. All right? All right, it says homosexuality in ancient Rome often differs markedly from the contemporary West. Latin lacks the word that would precisely translate homosexuality and heterosexuality. The primary dictionary of ancient Rome sexuality was active dominant masculinity and passive submissive feminine. Roman society was patriarchal. Let me see this word. It's patriarchy, and that word means it's a social system in which men hold primary power in predominant roles of political leadership. All right, so they're just saying that the Roman society always was based off men being in authority, men being in rulership. And where did they get that from? They got that from the nation of Israel, because that was always a part of our culture. Men always ruled over the people. All right, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, "And the freeborn male citizen possessed political liberty and the right to rule both himself and his household. Virtus was seen as an active quality through which a man defined himself. The conquest mentality and the conquest mentality and the cult of fertility shaped the same-sex relations. Roman men were free to enjoy sex with other males without perceived loss of masculinity or social status, as long as they took the dominant or penetrative role." So this was always a part, just like in Roman culture back then. They were saying that a man wasn't gay if he was the one that was having the sex with another man. You know what I'm saying? They were saying that a man still could hold that dominant role, and nobody could look down on him as a homosexual because he was the one that was doing the penetrating. He wasn't being penetrated, but he was the one doing the penetrating. And you think about that now, that's how, that same type of lifestyle they talking about right now is what they do in the prisons. They do that in the prison. What they say, you know, I ain't gay. He's my B. I ain't no homosexual. You know, he's gay because he's the ones that taking it. But in all actuality, you're both gay. You're both gay. The one that's given and the one that's taken. You're both gay. And that's how they try to do it now. What do they say now? They always like to ask homosexual. So who's the man and who's the woman? Neither one. They both homosexuals. They both gay. That whole lifestyle, that whole atmosphere, it comes from the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans. And those so-called Hamites too, them Africans too now. Let's not forget about Sodom and Gomorrah. Good night. Good night. They were so sick and wicked, they got blind and still wanted to have sex with the angels. Couldn't even find the door and still wanted to have sex with the angels. Because that homosexual lifestyle is very violent and very lustful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you see sisters who might be lesbians, or what they call them. I don't know if it's a proper term to call a sister a stud, but the one who carries themselves like a man. You see how aggressive they try to be and violent and try to carry themselves like a man. Same thing with the homosexual men who carry themselves like women. They're very violent. Very violent. And you always see them fighting on some video somewhere. You see them fighting outside of clubs, cutting each other, beating the hell out of each other, fighting in the malls and all of that, man, because that whole lifestyle, man, is very, very wicked and lustful, and it's very violent, man. We tell y'all all the time, man, you know, homosexuals are very violent. They're bullies, man. You know, why you think they trying to push the LGBT community on us? Because they're bullies. That's it. Like, we don't want to partake in it. We don't want our kids seeing all of these various things on TV where, you know, you got the cartoons where, this one cartoon I think is on Disney where it's a young brother and his father is a homosexual who goes with an Edomite homosexual. Like, why do we got to let our kids watch that? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're bullies. They're trying to force it on us, man. And if you don't like it, guess what happens? You get charged with all type of things. You lose your job. They shut down your shops. Wow. Just like when Barack Obama first had pushed that into order back in, I want to say that was about 2000. around 12, 13, and 14, when he pushed it, it was so many businesses getting shut down, especially those companies who were doing bakery. Like the people that were doing bakery, they had homosexuals come in and ask, hey, can we get a cake for me and my spouse? And when they would tell them, yeah, I can make the cake, what you want me to say on it? They would get a name of them and their lover, and the person who was, ran the shop didn't want to do it. It was like, hey, listen, I'm a Christian, and I don't believe in that. And next thing you know, what did the homosexuals do? They're going against our civil rights and had these places shut down, man. And you could thank Barack Obama for that, but Barack Obama was listening to Joe Biden. And now that person that was pushing it back when he was a vice president is now the president of the United States.
Right.
Dirty Joe, man. He's finna open up man, it's gonna be, man, listen, man. I better be ready for the men walking around in fishnets with lipstick. That's what you better be ready for. Hide your children, literally, for real. You ain't gonna be able to walk out here with your children in public because Dirty Joe is finna give these homosexuals. He's finna, like Officer Maradaki said, he's finna make them the face of America, man. And what happens when you give a violent type of people that type of power and allow them to be the face of America? Man, they gonna get bold, man. They gonna get bold and arrogant and cocky, and they gonna feel like can't nobody do nothing. You're going to start seeing the murder rate go up more transgender men because what? You're going to have homosexuals thinking that they can walk up to straight men and pretty much just debo them. Hey, what's your name? Try to holler at you like how you would talk to a woman. Like, it's going to start happening. It's going to start happening. When Joe start pushing more of these laws in, man, you ain't going to even be able to go on a date with your woman without some type of homosexual man or woman trying to approach one of y'all. Sit at the table like, listen, man, you sit at my table while I'm with, man, listen, I'm out with my kids and my rib, and you try to sit at my table, whew, I'm going to get checked. Because that plate is going to go right across your jaw, man. You ain't going to, listen, y'all don't even understand. All you Christians who went out there and voted for Joe Biden, man, he is finna to open a gateway of homosexuality on the Black, Latino, Native American community, man. You know what I'm saying? The UPK is the last of the real strong men. And these brothers that's trying to come in here and become real soldiers, we are the last line of defense of masculinity for our people, man. Right. You don't see no more masculinity out here. You turn on the football players, man. You see how Cam Newton dressed? Cam Newton came out there looking like somebody's grandma before, man. Ain't no true masculinity in these football fields no more. Same thing with the NBA. What type of masculinity we got in there, man? When you got Dwayne Wade offering his son up to be a homosexual. Brothers dressing like homosexuals. We don't have any other lines of defense when it comes to masculinity. The ISUPK is the only thing that's left, man. This is why it's so important for brothers to come into this truth. And you sisters who are tired of seeing this lifestyle that America pushes on your children, on your sons and your daughters, and on you, you're getting tired and you come in here to see something different. And you see the structure that the ISUPK has, that Commander General Yohana has pushed inside of us, man. He's taught us how to have family structures where the man is the head of the house, man. Where the man leads the family. And you see all these wonderful families in here, man, and you just be surprised when you come in and you see it. You ain't never seen nothing like it. You really get to see black and brown family households together, strong, not allowing things from the outside to infiltrate that structure that the Most High has set up, man. But you come outside of them doors and you see what these streets have to offer, man, it's horrible, man. I remember one story. This was a true fact. This was something I seen with my own eyes. I'm in Balo shopping. So I'm in the line. So I see a sister and I see she's with another sister. But the sister, one of the sisters was, like a lesbian. She had the little shirt on, with the sports bra, with the braids, trying to make herself look a little big. You know what I'm saying? They walk in there together and they got a maybe a 5-year-old in the cart with them. And you know, we all standing in line, and this was the Ballo that was like the last black Ballo. This was the Ballo that they. I don't know if I don't know. I don't think you. I know Officer Dawda might know, but they shut this Ballo down. But this was the last Ballo they pretty much had that was like around the black neighborhood. So it was predominantly mostly black people inside of that Ballo. So this was the black Ballo. So it's packed with people. You know, we in the lines, and you know, we waiting to try to get through the lines. So the little boy that was the two sisters, he look at the lesbian, the ones that they act like the man. He said, "Daddy, can I get the candy bar?" And everybody turned and looked and was looking at them like, she gonna talk. The sister gonna talk about something. Be quiet, don't say that. And then the old lady gonna tell me something. That's a damn shame. Old lady said that was a damn shame. Like brainwashing this boy to believe that this woman is his father, man. That this woman, this 5-year-old innocent child, has to be brainwashed by his mother to believe that this woman who's dressing like a man is his father. Like she was so shamed. They both were shamed. Like you could see the shame in their face. When the little boy said it, everybody looked back because everybody had seen them walking in together. You know, everybody seen them in the line together, so you know everybody glimpsed, and you know, everybody just kept going on with their day. But when that little young brother said, "Daddy, can I get that candy bar?" Everybody looked back. Even I looked back. I was like, "What the hell, Daddy?" And the older sister, like you could tell she might have been in her 60s. She looked and said, "That's a damn shame." And then the sister gonna tell the young brother, "Don't say that. Too late now, sis. You already don't taught him that. You already don't confuse the boy, man. Because that homosexual lifestyle is confusion, man. You know, you don't brainwash this child into telling him that this woman is his father, man." It's like you got that scripture up?
1 John chapter 2, 16, right?
Come.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world.
Damn right. Because all of these things in the world, and the lust of the flesh, man, it has nothing to do with the Most High, man. And the lust of the eyes and the pride of their life, it's not of the Father, man. Because what does America push on us, man? It teaches us how to be lustful, to want everything in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers are so lustful that they are willing to partake in homosexual things in order for them to have a piece of this world, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember them saying, in order for you to get a role in the Star Trek, not the Star Trek, but the Star Wars movie, you had to partake in some type of sexual event, some type of homosexual event, in order for you to get that role in Star Wars, because, you know, Star Wars was a multi-million-dollar movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you played in Star Wars, you're gonna make some money. And they were saying, like, this was a while back. I don't know how true it is, but this is one of the conspiracy theories where they were saying that, you know, in order for you to get that role on there, you had to partake in some type of sexual, like, good night. You had to partake in some type of sexual thing just to be accepted inside of that movie, man. It's no different now. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers will do anything to get a piece of this empire, man. You know, to have a part of this lust, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything that they eyes want, man, brothers will do anything. They'll scoop to any type of level. Right. No different than when brothers like, what's his name? Lil Nas X? Mm-hmm. Lil Nas X came out and said he was a homosexual. Just so what? He can blow up with his record, his contract. So he could be famous. So he could, you know, be able to fulfill the lust of his eyes, man. And the pride of his life. Just proud, ready to live. I love my life. I'll do whatever to keep this money rolling. No different than all these rappers. How many of these rappers don't wear dresses? Did something gay? I don't even want to talk about that brother, Young Thug. This brother right here. Like, they had a video of this brother. He's in the studio with other brothers, and somebody showed the video of him in the studio, and he has a homosexual porno playing in the background. Like this was back like what 2015. Like a brother said, man, you seen Young Thug? This is when he was catching all that commotion because he had on that dress where he was dressed like a samurai, and he had on a dress, and then he did another album cover where he was naked on the looking like a straight female. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the problem, man. This is what our people do, man. You know what I'm saying? When they lust after the world, man, and the lust of their flesh and their eyes, man, they'll do anything for it, man. But the things that they do, man, it's not of the Father, man. It's not of the Most High, man. But it is of this world. Because this world teaches you how to be lustful. How to do whatever your flesh tells you to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you wonder why we have our children out of control. Like you look at these oppressors and what they trying to teach our kids how to be. It was one interview where the lady was saying that, you know, you shouldn't classify your children with genders at this young age. You know what I'm saying? And the Edomite cut her to shreds. It was funny as hell. He was saying, so he said, so wait a minute. He said, so you telling me we should give 5-year-olds the choice in a decision to find out what gender they want to be? And she was like, yeah, I think that's what we should do. You should allow the kids to pick and choose on what they be. So he said, so I guess kids can make good decisions now. He says, so I'm pretty sure he can determine if he wants to pay a mortgage or if he wants to go get his driving license. You know, I'm pretty sure he can determine those things also. I'm pretty sure he can determine, you know, what bills need to be paid this week. And she was like, well, we're not trying to go on that. He's like, wait a minute, you can't say that. He said, because if you're telling the child that they can make the decision on what gender they want to be, you mean to tell me you can't tell them that they can't make other decisions? And people still, even with that still goes over Christians' head because they don't get it. Christians don't get it. Christians don't understand when you start telling children that they can be whatever gender they want, guess what else you have to allow them kids to make the decision on? Who they want to be with. That's why Joe Biden is going to push for pedophilia. Because you're going to have little boys who's going to say, I'm not a little boy, I'm a girl. And the parents going to be like, okay, that's fine. And then you're going to have that pedophilia slide on in and talk to him, getting the candy. And then the little child going to be like, I love him, I want to marry him. And the parents going to be crushed, like, wait a minute, you ain't nothing but 12 years old. You 10, you ain't ready yet. I made my mind up, just like I made my mind up on what I wanted to be, a man or a woman. And the parents going to have to deal with it and accept it. Same thing for, what's his name, Dwayne Wade. Like, it is going to hurt Dwayne Wade when he finds his son in the arms being embraced by some grown man. Some grown man, not no another teenager, some grown man. Because you better believe there's some sick devil out there looking at Dwayne Wade's son and is finna start preying on his son. And Dwayne Wade is going to have to sit back and look at his son's photos of him being embraced by his husband. By his husband. Because Dwayne Wade wants to support his son's lifestyle. You know, my son want to do that. I'm behind him 100%. Okay, go ahead. No sweat, Dwayne. But you better be ready to support him too when he gets that Edomite husband. You better be ready to support it. That's what y'all awaken. That's what you Christians have pushed for, man. And don't be surprised how many of your pastors gonna start coming out the closet. Pastor gonna come up on stage and gonna have a wig on. He said, I ain't Pastor Jenkins today, I'm Pastor Teresa today. He gonna be at the speaking on the scriptures with a wig on. All right, come again, get another scripture. If you can get Galatians chapter 5, verse 17 for me up.
This book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
All right, and the flesh lusteth against the spirit. What does that mean? That means the flesh is battling against the spirit. Go ahead.
And the spirit against the flesh.
And what is your spirit doing? Your spirit is fighting back against your flesh. You know, you ever don't see yourself in a situation where Your flesh is telling you to do this. Sleep with that whore. Sleep with that whore. Or brothers and sisters who might have lived, or sisters who might have lived a homosexual lifestyle or a whore's lifestyle. Same thing for some brothers. Some brothers might have lived the lifestyle of a whoremonger, and that flesh is telling you to sleep with that whore. Go ahead. But then your spirit is fighting back, combating back about it, against it, like, no, don't do it. You know it's wrong. You already know it's wrong. Don't do it. Go ahead.
And these are contrary the one to another.
Right, go ahead.
So that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
All right, and that's the point. You ain't gonna be able to do the things that you would want, man. But this oppressor doesn't think like how we are, man. He's nothing like us, man. Like the scripture says, 2 nations are inside of Rebecca's womb, man.
Right.
2 different manner of people. We have 2 different manners. Like with us, we at least try to fight back against that demon. Just like them sisters that was in that grocery store that day, them sisters were confounded, but that spirit was fighting back against their flesh, and that's why they felt so shamed when that older sister said, that's a damn shame. You know, that spirit was fighting back, and they felt so confounded. They dropped their head. It was a sad thing to see. It was a sad thing to see, man. Them sisters just be confounded, man. Just to see that spirit crushed, man. All that lust they had with their flesh went right out the door when that sister said, that's a damn shame. And everybody was looking at them. All eyes was on them. Everybody was looking. And they already knew what was in the minds of all the black people that was inside of that store. It's like, damn, they teaching the little boy this. They trying to tell the little boy that that's his daddy. Like, it was disgusting in the eyes of our people, man. Because our spirit fights back against our flesh, man. That is only with the children of Israel, man. These other nations, they do what the hell they want to do, man. Same thing with Esau, man. This lustful bastard does whatever the hell he wants to do, man. He doesn't give a damn. If it can be done, he's going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why Joe Biden is pushing for this new agenda, man. That's why he's pushing for, you know, that homosexual culture to be pushed upon us, man.
So we got a question.
Come on, you got it up.
Sister Adrian says, sir, I have a question. What can a brother or sister in the truth say to a person who says that the Bible can't be used to condone homosexuality because it is Peter or Yahushua speaking, not the Most High speaking?
And I tell them like that is a lie, because when you go back into the book of Exodus and the laws, it tells you that the Most High, what scriptures that can you pull that scripture from me? Sister Adrian,
talking about the man should not lay with mankind.
Like whoever says that, they're just Christians, man. They might have a little sugar in their tank on the low. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High has always spoke against their homosexual lifestyle. And then you tell them this right here. If that's the case, why did the Most High destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Why did he do that then if that was Yahushua and Peter speaking? Because Sodom and Gomorrah was way before Yahushua and Peter. And that city got destroyed. Why did it get destroyed? Because these men were homosexuals. Like the Most High said, the cry of Sodom has gone up to him. The sins, the wickedness, it had went to the Most High, and the Most High was tired of that homosexual city, man. If you got it out, you can read it whenever you got it out. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with these Christians, man. They want to push this homosexual lifestyle as well, man. But they don't never like to go back to Sodom and Gomorrah and find out what happened to people trying to be homosexuals. And that's what you ask them. Like, okay, if you're saying that, so why did that happen with Sodom and Gomorrah? And watch them start stuttering. They can no, you know, but no, the Most High does not get down with their homosexual lifestyle. And if they want to continue to go on with that, pull this scripture right here for them in the Old Testament. You got it up?
Like 1 second.
I think it's
Here we go. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind.
If a what?
if a man also lie with mankind,
So if a man also lies with another man, go ahead,
as he lied with a woman,
as he does with a woman, because how does a man lay with a woman? How does a man lay with a woman? A man lays down with a woman and they have sex.
right?
They do something that is natural with them. But if a man decides that to lay down with a man as if he would with a woman, what does that mean? If that man decides to lay down with this man and have sex with this man, go ahead.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
No, one of them.
Both of them,
The giver and the taker.
both of them have committed an abomination.
So both of them, the giver and the taker, have committed an abomination. And we all know how the Most High feels about an abomination. He hates an abomination. The Most High says that he hates an abomination. And you can go ahead and read the rest of it up.
They shall be put to death.
Ooh, they should be what?
Put to death.
No, we should glorify.
Shall be put to death.
No, we should get the rainbow flag and let them get married.
They shall surely be put to death.
That's what happened to you back then during ancient times during Israel. If you were a homosexual and you were found to be that type of way in the nation of Israel, you were put to death. Because we already knew what comes from being a homosexual, man. Diseases, wickedness and evil and just this. Like, what the hell are you going to produce with two men having sex? Who going to have a baby? Nobody. You just going to have a stinking house, man. And so it's going to smell like chitlins when you walk in there. That's it. It ain't going to be nothing righteous. The Most High has never been with their homosexual lifestyle. And if you could you give me Romans chapter 1, verse 25 also? Because sis Adrian, if they try to pull that's in the Old Testament. Pull this in the New Testament for them also.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 1, chapter 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who did what?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
So who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? Go ahead.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
And who's that creature? That creature is the oppressor, the so-called Caucasian man, that beast the Bible speaks of. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worships that creature, that beast, which is the oppressor today, which is the so-called Caucasian man? Go ahead.
Who was blessed forever, so be it. 26. For this cause God gave them unto vile affection. For even their women did change their natural use into which is against nature.
So these women did what?
Women did change their natural use.
Their what?
Their natural use.
What is a natural use of a woman? Sister Adrian, if you can answer that question, what is a natural use of a woman? She probably answered yet. That was just
not Chip.
All right, I'm gonna give it to you for time's sake, sis. The natural use of a woman was for her to be a mother, for her to be a wife, for her to be that helpmate to that man. That was that natural use of a woman. But now, in this society, in this day, they have taken that natural use of a woman and turned it to something unnatural. What is that unnatural use of a woman now? Now women are out here looking like Queen Latifah set it off. Now you got situations like the situation in the grocery store where you got the sister who thinks she's big coming up with the son, with the other sister, and now the son calling her father, calling her daddy. That's unnatural. Two women walking down the streets trying to act like they're a couple. That is the unnatural use of a woman. Because guess what? Them sisters are not going to have children. And it's so horrible now because now you do have situations where you got sisters who are in homosexual relationships will go out here and go to a sperm bank. Them sperm banks are evil as hell also. And they will go inside of these sperm banks and take sperm from men who they don't know anything about. They don't know what, they just get told, hey, this sperm came from a black man, like you said, you wanted this and that, this and that. We got you. And they allow these doctors to pretty much base them like a turkey and put a seed inside of them. And then they come up pregnant, and now you got these two women raising a child as if it's theirs. Because guess what? They can't have a baby because it's unnatural. Two women can't produce a baby because it's unnatural. It's not going to work no matter how you want it to work. No matter what type of surgery a woman tries to have to be a man, it's always going to be unnatural in the eyes of the Most High. Anything else on that?
Like I said, you said, repeat the scripture. I was thinking of childbearing.
That's true also, sis. That's true. This scripture right here is Romans chapter 1, verse 25 and verse 26. That is right, sis. A natural use of a woman is for her to have a child, man. For her to bring life into the earth, for her to carry the seed of that man. You know, that's the natural use of a woman. Like the Most High said in the beginning, I create ye man and women. Go populate. Go have some more people. He didn't tell two men to get together. Hey, you two niggas get together, man, and, you know, do what the hell y'all want to do. Go sword fight somewhere. It ain't nothing gonna come from it. You know what I'm saying? The Most High didn't say it. The Most High said men and women. That's what the Most High said, man. Not us. We didn't make this up. You know what I'm saying? We're not just sitting up here just, you know, reading what we think is right and what's, you know, what we feel like is right. The Most High said this. The Most High said it was an unnatural use of a woman to be with another woman, man. And that's what this culture pushes, man. They can't kill enough of us with abortions. So guess what they got to do now? Now they got to put the homosexual lifestyle on us, man. That homosexual culture on us. And you know, and they knew this from back then, having that homosexual lifestyle, you're not able to populate a lot of people. You're not able to have children if you are homosexual. You know, you can have kids, but I'm just saying that's not going to be your main agenda. Your main agenda is not going to be, let me have a lot of kids and raise a family. You know what I'm saying? You think two men are thinking about having kids? And it's so wicked, man, because I've seen cases where sisters have a homosexual friend and treat this man like he's, you know, like he's her best friend, like this is her homegirl, and then get mad when they find out that the homosexual was talking to a certain type of man they didn't know was on the down low. You know what I'm saying? I remember a sister was telling me about it. They had something in Greenville called The List. They had something called The List, where there was names of brothers from various hoods who were homosexuals. They called it The List, and I think some people got hurt behind that list. I'm not sure they were killed, but I know some people got hurt behind that list, man. And sisters were mad because the homosexual was cool with them, started putting people on blast. And a lot of the men that were on the list, a lot of the sisters had sex with them. And the sisters were mad because they was like, you know, if we were friends, why you didn't tell me that he was gay? Because they knew with these two men having sex, somebody could catch AIDS. Somebody can have some type of disease that can be real harmful. Right. And so these sisters were mad. They were cool when they was all sitting down chilling, drinking, and he called them, they called him like, yeah, that's my bitch, that's my girl, they was all cool then. But when he dropped the list showing all of the various men that him and other homosexuals were having sex with, the sisters got mad. Wanted to tell him he was fake and he was wrong. You should have said something. That's I slept with him. You know, I had sex with him. And now they coming to find out that this brother, who's a homosexual, had been having sex with the same man that they were sleeping with. And ain't no telling what they don't got spread amongst them. Sisters got to go get checked for HIV because some man's a homosexual on the low. You know what I'm saying? But sisters be so quick to support these homosexuals until they find out that he's sleeping with somebody that they like or somebody they slept with. Slack, could you read 26 again for me?
Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection. For even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature.
And that lifestyle that these women live in this lesbian culture, man, it is against nature, man. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And likewise also the men.
And likewise also the man. So this is letting you know that this is a scripture about homosexuality. Not only did the women give up what was the natural use of the woman, so did the man. Because guess what was the natural use of a man? That man was supposed to be with that woman and have children. That man wasn't supposed to lay down and be with another man. That man wasn't supposed to be dressing like a woman. He wasn't supposed to be like Magic Johnson's son or Dwayne Wade's son. Like Dwayne Wade is teaching his son to do something that is unnatural and it goes against nature. Your son shouldn't be dyeing his hair pink and dressing like a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like your daughter, like even with Mike Tyson has a daughter who's a lesbian. I'm not talking about like she's like, you know, the girl type lesbian. Like she's a girl who thinks she's a man. Like she thinks she's a man. You know, Mike Tyson's her father. So you know she probably got some hands. She probably can fight. You know what I'm saying? So she thinks she's a man. She thinks she can take on a lot of men. All right. It's like you can go ahead up.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman.
Good night. So these men also leaving the natural use of a woman. Like these men didn't want to have sex with the women no more. And you got to understand that this is recorded in the book of Romans. Right. We're reading this scripture for a reason, to show you in the history that we've been bringing about their homosexual lifestyle in Rome. This was also recorded in the Bible, because during the time of the prophets, they were seeing these things happen. You know, you walking in Rome and you got some cross-dresser walking around like they were horrible. I read stories. I remember I was in an 8-hour lecture with this professor, and she was giving us details on the Roman. It was horrible when she started going into the homosexual lifestyle. She said the emperor would be at the top, and he would see somebody in the town square who he might like, and what he would do was he would look at his guard and point down at who he found, like who he thought was you know, attracted to him. He would point down and do his finger like this, and they would bring whoever he pointed at up to his room. Like whatever man he seen that he thought was attractive, if he pointed at you, good night. That's all I can say. Good night. If he pointed at you, you were finished. This is a reason why we're bringing out the ancient Roman history, and it even goes into this in the book of Romans, because that homosexual lifestyle was running rapid in Rome, man. Running rapid in Rome. I'm talking about they were disgusting with that thing in Rome, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna even show you how they were they were having sex with the slaves in Rome. And who were a lot of the slaves in Rome? Us. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian Israelites who got put into captivity during the siege of Jerusalem. You know, these sick bastards were doing all type of horrible things to us, man. Just to show you, man, what they did to us in the past, they did to us again during the time of slavery, man. It's like that's it on that verse up.
Leaving the natural use of a woman burn in their lust one toward another.
And he said he said it. Say it again. So like said it again.
Leaving the natural use of a woman burned in their lust one toward another.
Ooh, and they gonna be burning in their lust. Ooh, because we know what happens when two men decide to have sex with each other, they begin to burn in their own lust. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Like they gonna get STDs and all type of diseases from that lust. You know, that same lust is gonna be the same thing that's gonna get them destroyed in these last days. If you could you get me 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9? Because Sister Adrian, this is another scripture you can pull for your whoever this is who's a good Christian. Because they sound like they love everybody. Like they love everybody, they care for everybody, and they don't want you to be the judge of the homosexuals because, you know, maybe they got somebody they know they might be a homosexual. They might be a friend or somebody, a family member they know might be a homosexual, and they don't want you to speak against that lifestyle. But you stand firm on this truth, sis. Don't let nobody tell you to accept their homosexual lifestyle. Don't give a damn who it is, because it is not right in the eyes of the Most High. And this is a good scripture right here for these wicked Christian pastors and all of these wicked people who tell these homosexuals that God loves them no matter what. You can go ahead out.
This is the book of First Corinthians chapter 6. Verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Read that again up.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Homosexuality is unrighteous.
Right.
Being a lesbian is unrighteous. 2 men getting married in a church is unrighteous. 2 women getting married is unrighteous. And it's so sad because you have a sister who thinks she's a man coming down the aisle with a tuxedo on, and you got the sister with a dress on coming down the aisle, and some pastor is going to hold their hand and marry them together, man. Can you read that again from the top up?
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Yeah, and all of that, what they like to do, that going down the aisle and that LGBTQ community lifestyle, that unrighteousness is not going to be prohibited by the Most High, man. They're not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. You ain't going to make it to heaven if you're homosexuals. I don't give a damn what your pastor says, man. You're not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven if you are a homosexual, because it is unrighteous in the eyes of the Most High. Go ahead up.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators nor adulterers.
Slack, you read that again. It says what? Be not what?
Be not deceived.
Be not what?
Be not deceived.
Don't be deceived, man. And that's what a lot of your pastors have did to a lot of people. They have deceived y'all into believing that, you know, we can do whatever we want and we still gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. We still gonna get our seat in there. They got their homosexual choir director in there like Kurt Franklin. Did you see the picture with Kurt Franklin on TD Jakes' lap? Like TD Jakes was smiling on his face like he was waiting on him to sit on something. Like that look in TD Jakes' eyes was very disgusting. Like and Kurt Stanklin was just it was horrible, man. Like what are they showing the people, man? What are they showing the people? You got Kurt Franklin coming to sit on another man's lap. Come on, man. These are the same people who deceive you, man. They deceive you with their unrighteousness, and you think what? They do it, so it has to be righteous. Right. That's why the scripture says, be not deceived, man. Don't be lied to. Don't let these people lie to you with their unrighteousness, man.
Right.
Go ahead up.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate.
Nor what?
Nor effeminate.
Nor what?
Nor effeminate.
Ooh-wee, sugar in your tank. Mm-hmm. You are effeminate. You men who are effeminate, and you fornicators, and you adulterers. What are you adulterers? The adulterers are the ones who worship these various idols, man. And everybody knows that homosexuals have a notorious idol, man. They got an idol too. They push. They got an idol that they love. Like RuPaul's an idol for homosexuals. You know who else is another idol for homosexuals? The sisters who made the LGBTQ community. Those sisters have become idols in the lesbian community, man, in the homosexual community, because now they're looked at as something righteous, as you know, they know what it means to be proud and to stand up and do what's right. No different than what's the devil that went out there and cut his rod off, man, and Bruce Jenner. Like Bruce Jenner, he became an idol for the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? And you adulterers too. Even people that are out here sleeping with other men's women, or women sleeping with women sleeping with other men, knowing that she has a husband. Go ahead.
Nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
You effeminates, or you abusers of yourself with mankind, man. Like you're not going to inherit heaven, man. If you effeminate, if you have some sign of weakness of being effeminate, like a man acting like a woman, you're not going to come into the kingdom of heaven, man. And we know how many Christian pastors, I can't even name to you how many of you Christian pastors ain't going to make it into heaven because you are effeminate. Even with these brothers now, you got brothers now on TV, on Instagram. Now it's the new thing where brothers wear the wigs and the lipsticks and dress up like women for different skits and different parts on Instagram so they can be Instagram famous. Doing it for some likes. It's one homosexual. He has got notorious for being a cross-dresser. He wears like a blue wig with the blue lipstick. It's like green or blue. And he's notorious. He's always in different sisters' videos, and he has on a green looking wig. They went as far as to get a brother a TV show. He wear a blue lipstick and a blue wig, but it's a brother.
Man, I know who you talking about, man. Good night. Yeah.
They gave him a TV show, man. My rig was watching. She said, "Look who they gave a TV show." And they showed the brother, and they showed a skit, a part where he had a bunch of men who he was trying. It was like The Bachelor.
Good night.
It was like The Bachelor gone gay. You know what I'm saying? It was this homosexual brother choosing which men he wanted to be with. But you could kind of tell a little bit that the brother really wasn't. Like you could kind of tell it was something in him where he wasn't too much feeling it, but he just did it because now, you know, he don't fell into the lust of this world, and now they don't told him, hey, you don't got this far, you got to do it now.
Right.
Cause you got it out.
It's like, I was just about to say that, you know what I'm saying? Because that brother, he wasn't always,
Nope.
feminine like that.
No,
you know what I'm
lie.
saying? Because when he first came out, he would just do like regular skits.
Right.
And then he got with that what's that other one chick named B Simone.
Right.
You know, what's one of her phrases? You my boyfriend or something like that.
Oh yeah.
With her. And you know they teamed up one night, and then they started doing sketches. And I noticed his whole transformation when all started about 2-3 years ago when they started hanging around each other.
Right.
And now it was so crazy, you know, that you brought up that TV show, because even in the TV show, he's kind of not even really feeling it like that himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, even though they gave him his own TV show, and now he's like, oh, I got to do this. And the crazy thing about it is, you know what I'm saying, when you look at the brother in normal clothes, he looked like a regular G.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But once he put on a lipstick and a wig and all that, it's like, man, like they pushing this agenda on black men, and that's just so disgusting, man. It's like,
God, that's heavy as hell, lot. That is heavy as hell, because I remember seeing the brother like a brother. Like, you know, when you see him, you wouldn't even know he's that cross-dresser. But like even with the TV show, you could tell, like you said, he really wasn't feeling it. Like,
right.
He wasn't like, he was like, damn, I got to do this for that. Because I don't even think the TV show went that far along. I don't know how many episodes came out or what, but I know my real scene, that one part right there, and she didn't watch it no more after that. I thought, I was like, listen, hell no, you got to turn it. But I was just shocked that he had went, because I thought it was just, I was like, okay, I know he's a cross dresser. The brother already out of his damn mind. But when I seen him do that and then he kissed somebody on it, I said, oh, he finished. I said, you got to turn that. I said, damn. I said, oh, he don't win full time with it now. But you can kind of see it in his spirit that he wasn't really with it like that.
Right.
And now he don't got famous. He be on Love and Hip Hop. He was on one Love and Hip Hop reunion show. I was just like, man, that's the new lifestyle. And that Love and Hip Hop is disgusting, man. That Love and Hip Hop is like, that thing is horrible, man. So like, that was everything on it. Somebody had a question?
Sister, I said it's a oppressor on TikTok called Uncle Daddy. He's a homosexual and imitates black women.
Oh,
a coworker showed it to me, and I'm like, why are you showing me this? Why are you showing me this? He's imitating you.
oh snap! The coworker said it.
Yeah, this is what the sister Ya'ala was saying. Pretty much she was just wondering, why is this other sister showing this, oppressor intimidating black women, and she was just saying, he's imitating you, sis.
Right.
Pretty much,
Because and I remember Jenna Miami said this a long time ago. Sisters don't understand. Everybody wants to be the sisters, the daughters of Zion, man. All of these homosexuals, the white woman, the Chinese woman, all of these women want to be black women.
Right.
They want to be Hispanic women and Native Indian women. They want to be y'all. Why do you think you see these Edomites getting a tan and you can't tell if she's from Venezuela or Puerto Rico, but she's really a devil? They want to be y'all. And notice this right here, sis. Whenever you see a homosexual, who are they imitating? All of them. It was a homosexual in I might be wrong, but I think it was Indonesia. It was where that lesbian sister, she was staying over there in Indonesia, and they revoked her visa, so she got deported back to America because they saying she wasn't paying taxes correctly, but she was a lesbian. So it was some Indonesian homosexual who was acting just like a black woman. He was speaking like a black woman, and he had the lipstick on, the makeup. But I watched it because I was like, he's imitating black women in America. But this dude is in Indonesia. He lives in Indonesia, and he's imitating black women from the ghetto. Acting like y'all. Not y'all. I ain't going to say all y'all because our sisters don't all act like that. But he's acting like the ratchet, sisters who just loud and stubborn. They ain't gonna, and they look up to that. But this homosexual in Indonesia was imitating a sister from America in the ghetto. Because when homosexuals want to be a woman, that's what they think a woman is. A loud-mouth, ratchet black woman. That's why all your white homosexuals. Somebody has something to say?
No.
Okay. Your white homosexuals, your Chinese homosexuals, your black homosexuals, they all tell themselves that I can be a better woman than she can. I'm a better woman than she is. That's why they always imitate y'all. You don't see them imitating the white woman. You don't see them imitating the Chinese. You ain't never seen a homosexual walk around and oh, very good. Oh, Mia. No, you don't see that. You don't see them imitating Indian women from over there in India. You see them imitating black, Latino, and Native American women. Because that's who they consider the women on a pedestal. No different than you see all these other nations imitating Jake. Everybody want to be Jake. Everybody want the braids or the dreads. They want to dress like us. They want to act like us. They want to talk like us. They want to rap like us. They love how we are, and we are the ones they imitate. No different than these homosexuals acting like black women. Because that's what they believe how black women are. That's what they think black women are. Loud, ratchet, and just don't give a damn. That's what they think. That's what they feel. But that's why it's important for sisters like y'all, like Adrian, like Yaila, and the sister that's in the class, man, the sisters here in the UPK, to show them what a true woman is, man.
Right.
What a true black woman is. What a true Native Indian woman is, or a so-called Latino woman is, man. Because they not going to imitate that. They ain't going to want to imitate that. Seeing sisters in a humble position with the hands crossed and sisters humble, looking beautiful with a dress on, one concert. You think they're going to want to do that? Like, I guarantee you the homosexual agenda would drop if all sisters start acting like that. I guarantee you. Because ain't nobody going to want to talk to these homosexuals, and these homosexuals ain't going to want to be like these sisters, man. That's why it's so important for our sisters, man, to come in this truth, man, and learn how a true woman is supposed to be, man. How a woman is supposed to carry herself. How a woman is supposed to act, man. How a woman is supposed to be, how she's going to be an example for the world. And that's what these sisters don't understand, man. The world looks at our women. The world looks at our women. Why do you think Cardi B caught so much backlash when she was doing that video for the people over there in East India about their culture? Because they know black women, black men, we have a strong culture that gets pushed on everybody. Everybody soaks our culture up. And they knew if Cardi B was to push this, she's going to push a bad image of our people. And we're not going to go for it. And they cussed Cardi B out, called her a hoe and all type of names. So, sis, don't let nobody tell you, sis, that homosexuality is cool, man. It's all right. They can be homosexuals, man. All right, I'm going to read a little more, man. I'm going to pull a little more on this article, man. All right. And it says, the conquest mentality and cult of fertility shaped the same-sex relations. Roman men were free to enjoy sex with other males without perceived loss of masculinity or social status, as long as they took the dominant or penetrative role. Acceptable male partners were slaves and former slaves, prostitutes, and entertainers whose lifestyle placed them in the nebulous social realm of ephemia, excluded from the normal protections accorded a citizen, even if they were technically free. So even back then in Roman history, the people who these top-ranked Roman people were sleeping with were slaves, prostitutes, entertainers. These were the people that they were sleeping with. No different than today, man. No different than today, man. Who do these homosexuals, these top high-ranking homosexuals like to go out there? The slaves of Israel, man. The poor people. The poor blacks. The poor Hispanics. The poor Native Indians. Why do you think you see them going to these third world countries like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or Mexico or in the ghettos, and what they doing? Having sex with the young boys out there. Because they know we are the slaves still here in this land, man. They know we the slaves, man. And they prey on that. They prey on us being poor and being in poverty, man. No different than their forefathers from back then, man. Preying on the slaves and prostitutes. Because who else do they have sex with? Prostitutes. Male prostitutes. Men who have been destroyed their whole lives, who turn themselves into homosexuals. These rich and elites and all of these different people prey on these prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? Like brothers who might have been molested when they were young and felt like they didn't have a way out, and they turned themselves into male prostitutes. Cross-dressing prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? They end up getting done horrible, just as horrible as they did before, man. All right, and you notice that it said the entertainers also. Because a lot of your entertainers are gay.
Right.
A lot of your entertainers are gay. What's that sister name? They call her, I ain't going to say the name that they call her, but her name is, I want to say it's Kareem Gaines or something like that. The sister that they call her Super. But that sister came out with a book, and she was exposing a lot of brothers for being homosexual. She exposed Puff Daddy. She said Puff Daddy was a homosexual. Big Tigger. Who else? Who else she said was a homosexual? I can't think. She had a long list of people who she said was a homosexual. Even Exhibit said the same thing about Puff Daddy. Exhibit said Puff Daddy took them to a gay club and he made sure he exited himself out the back door. He said when he found out what type of club it was in, he said, I made sure I made my way out the back door so nobody would see me and start taking pictures of me, calling me a homosexual. Because a lot of your entertainers are homosexuals. Man, then it's a brother, man. He played in a lot of Tyler Perry movies, man. He always played like a strong... It was a Tyler Perry movie where the brother's woman was sleeping with the white man who he was the owner of a business. Because you remember the two mothers were cool. One of them was white and one of them was black. Now you remember that brother that was a bald head in that movie? He plays in a firefighter show where he's a homosexual. He's a homosexual in the firefighter show. And he's a homosexual in that, and it's another black woman that's a homosexual. And they are the only two homosexuals in the whole movie. In the whole TV show. And they black. And I had to break it down for the people who watch. I said, it's not a coincidence that the only two people in the TV show are black. They was like, what you mean? What you mean? You know, like, what you mean? Because it was some sisters. It was a rib and her mom. They was like, and she was like, what you mean by that? I was like, listen, they're trying to push that agenda on a specific people. And that specific people is the ones who they have as homosexuals in here. I said, how come the white man ain't gay? Why he ain't gay in here? I said, how come the only people that are gay in here is the black man and the black woman? They trying to make sure we become acceptable of this lifestyle. Like, hey, look, man, it's normal. It's cool. If you black, everybody do it. Because just like that show they got Orange is the New Black, now being gay is the new black, man. Being gay is the new black. Yeah, you ain't black if you ain't gay. That's the new thing. I'm going to keep reading a little more on this article. All right. And it says, although Roman men in general seem to have preferred youths between the ages of 12 and 20 as sexual partners, I'm going to read that again because there's some group of Israelites out there who, like 12-year-olds also. But let me tell you who else like 12-year-olds, man. It says, although Roman men, because Roman men like the 12-year-olds also. It says, although Roman men in general seem to have preferred youths between the ages of 12 and 20 as sexual partners, freeborn male minors were off limits at certain periods in Rome, though professional prostitutes and entertainers might remain sexually available well into adulthood. It says same-sex relations among women are far less documented, and if Roman writers are to be trusted, female eroticism may have been very rare, to the point that one poet in the Augustine describes it as unheard of. However, there is scattered evidence, for example, a couple of spells in the Greek magical papyri which assist to the existence of individual women in Rome ruled in Providence in later period. All right. It says a man or boy who took the receptive role in sex was variously called insidious, pactus, exilotus, or a concubine, or concubine. It says they were generally as that the quality counter to aggressive masculinity. It says sometimes such as let's sit on that. Let's sit on that, man. That just goes to show you, man, these Romans were filthy, man. Disgusting, man. All right, this is the last little article, man. This is going to tell you about how the Western society adopted this homosexual lifestyle, man. All right. It says, many people consider homosexuality to be a modern day phenomenon. This could be no farther from the truth. Homosexuality has been documented in Western society as far back as the ancient Greeks. Virtually every citizen since has had some record of the presence of homosexuality. From ancient Greece to Rome to Victorian England, right up to the present day. Because of the brief required for this article, the focus will be on male homosexuality from classical Greece to the late medieval period. It says, homosexuality, Plato wrote, is regarded as shameful by barbarians and by those who live under deposed governments, just as philosophy is regarded as shameful by them. And the barbarians, they would call us barbarians back then. Barbarians were people who didn't follow Roman traditions. Like us, they would have called us barbarians back then because we didn't believe in that homosexual lifestyle and that culture that these Romans pushed. All right, it says, because it is apparently not engraved in their subjects or powerful friendships or passionate love of all, of which homosexuality is particularly adapted to produce. Because they tell you right here, when you love everybody, like that's the homosexual life, like to love everybody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what Christians tell us to do? To love everybody? Mm-hmm. They're telling you right now, that is a homosexual thing to love everybody. Because that's how these homosexuals in Rome looked at everything. You got to love everybody. You got to love everybody? Nah, man. I'm good on that. Count us out. We don't love everybody. All right, it says the ancient Greeks regarded homosexuality as a normal part of life, but only within certain parameters. The relationship was supposed to be between a beardless youth and an older man. Good night. Oh man, they said for a beardless youth and a grown man. And it says the elder was supposed to be the active partner. It was shameful for him to be the passive partner. The youth should not accept money from the man, nor was he supposed to enjoy the act of penetration. Once the youth reached adulthood and recognized as a citizen, the relationship was supposed to lose its sexual side. Even the greatest of the gods, Zeus, is portrayed as pursuing homosexuality as well as heterosexual romances. So goddamn, not only were the Romans gay, but Zeus was a gay too. Zeus coming to shove a lightning bolt up your, you know what I mean? Zeus was gay. It says, in the later half of the 1st century BC, the Roman poet Perpetuus wrote, "May my enemies fall in love with women and my friends with boys." Good night, man. We're not making this up, man. These Romans said, "May my enemies fall in love with women, but my friends with boys." Don't be surprised. We keep telling, don't be surprised when Dirty Joe he's pushing for this, man. He's pushing for this. Like, you an enemy to America if you love a woman, man. You an enemy to the LGBTQ community if you love a woman. But you a friend if you love a boy and you a man. You a friend to them if you're a woman and you love another woman. You're their friend. This is the Roman way. This is the Roman way. This is Esau way, man. You an enemy if you love what is righteous, man. All right, I'm going to keep reading. It says, he said, "May my enemies fall in love with women and my friends with boys," is a generally flowing river marked by 2 shipwrecks. What harm can come to one in such a narrow channel? Sheesh. In some ways, Roman tolerance for homosexual paralleled earlier Greek attitudes. So long as it was practiced in an appropriate manner, homosexuality was acceptable. In Rome, this meant pursuing a young slave. By law, free use was set off limits. The Romans, like the Greek, deplored free men taking the passive role in the sexuality, as stated by the philosopher Seneca. To be that is passive is a disgrace for a free man. For slaves, however, there was nothing shameful in doing whatever the master orders. That's no different what they did to us in slavery, man. They did the same thing to us in slavery, man. Had sex with our young boys, man. Raped and molested our young men. No different, man. You had a question?
This is just so disgusting, man.
Man, it's sick, man, but this is Joe Biden's America, man. Mm-hmm. All right, it says, good night. It says, there is nothing shameful in doing whatever the master orders. It was considered disgusting to continue sexual relations with a slave who is old enough to have facial hair, but not illegal. So they even considered a man having facial hair as disgusting, man. You wonder why you see all of these so-called Caucasian men, what are they doing in the mirror? That's why, man, that's why it was always a law in Israel not to shave your beard off, man. Because it was a gay thing to do, man. You got it now where America loves you to shave off that beard. And them homosexual men just be looking at you like, look at him, he like a young boy. He like a young boy. Like, kick me out of school if I shave my beard off. I would be so shy. I would put on a fake beard before I came in here with my beard cut off, man. Even when the time when King David was king, was that when the brothers went to Jericho and they insulted the brothers by cutting off their beard? Like, it was that shameful. He sent them to another part of a kingdom until their beard grew back. That beard is a badge of honor, man. But you leave it up to Esau, he wants you to have that baby face. He wants you to have that butt naked face so he can think of you as a young child. Good night, man. Y'all and you Israelites out here, you fake Israelites out here with the whole thing shaved off. You know, you wonder why Charles Barkley and all of these entertainers, like, I don't trust a man who has a bald head and a bald face. Like, it is weird. It looks weird. Like, you look like a thumb. Good night. All right, it says in the 4th century AD, it says the introduction of Christianity into the Roman world brought the old Hebrew prejudice against the homosexual into the empire. Because this is when Christ came on the scene. This is when Yahweh came on the scene. He came with them old school law. He was like, listen, man, we ain't with none of that, man. You know, y'all leave that to the Romans. You know, what did they call followers of Christ back then? They called them Christians, man. You know, they came with them hardcore Levitical laws, man. Like, listen, we ain't with none of that. Like, we ain't having none of that over here. But they said when this came into the Roman Empire, it said they went against that homosexual empire. All right, and it says, at first, it was tolerated. In fact, it was practiced by more than a few Roman emperors. In the 4th century AD, a writer defended Constantine's constitution of the tax on homosexual prostitutes, saying that it allowed them to continue their practices with impunity. This tolerance, however, did not last. In 533 AD, homosexuality became entirely illegal in Rome, because that's the time when the so-called Caucasian Roman Empire fell, and we started to partake more into the Roman Empire. You had more Israelites who were more in authority back then. You know, that's when the Dark Ages started to roll in. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a homosexual back then was against the law. Like, this was against the law back then. You couldn't march up and down the streets in your gay parades. Because if they did that back then, it was going to be a bloodbath in the middle of the streets. And it was going to be looking like a slaughterhouse in the middle of the streets. What time it is up?
8:51, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna finish up with this right here. All right, it says, all right, it says, this tolerance, however, did not last. In 533 AD, homosexuality became entirely illegal in Rome. Emperor Justinian was known to castrate those found guilty of homosexuality. The laws on the books actually prescribed death, but that punishment was generally not meted out. So what does it mean by the laws of the books? The Bible. Like, they were using the Bible against homosexuality. What does it tell you to put a man to death for being a homosexual? In the book of Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13. Because this is during the time of the Dark Ages when the Israelites were ruling. We went back to those laws, statutes, and commandments. And we were, like, you were supposed to be put to death, but this brother, rather than put you to death, he castrated your ass. Like, he cut the rod off. He's like, oh, you want to be gay? Don't worry, I'm going to let you live. But you ain't gonna be able to enjoy that homosexual lifestyle anymore. I mean, that would stop a lot of homosexuality, but death would work on it real fine. Death would get it out the way. Like, all that's going out the window. All right, and it says, after the collapse of the Roman Empire, the statutes of homosexuality changed yet again. In most areas, there were not laws against homosexuality. 6th century Spain is the exception to the rule, where homosexuality was prohibited along with Judaism. Good night. The laws appear very close together in the text, suggesting that they were seen in similar contexts, perhaps as being offensive to God's order. Right. Because we all know who was in rulership over Spain. You know what I'm saying? These Edomites, man. The Roman Catholic Church, the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Those were those people in Spain who still were trying to push homosexuality. They wanted to thrive and wanted it to live and wanted to continue to go on because they were homosexuals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No different now than what's in the Roman Empire. Homosexuals. Why do you think they got so many allegations against them for, you know how many rape victims they got? I'm going to tell you a good movie to watch. A good movie to watch about that child pedophilia is a movie called Spotlight. Good movie to watch where they show you the hundreds of thousands of cases they have had against those Roman fathers, those fathers that they call and send them out to various places. Tons of them for child molestation against boys, man. Because this has always been a culture, a part of the Roman Empire, a part of the Spaniards. Like, where's Rome at today? In Spain. Those homosexuals, man. You don't think the Pope is a homosexual, man. Those boys are gay. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Officer Maradaki.
Alright. Most High in Christ. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Start with 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shake themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Times, which is a commandment. You can read about this in Numbers chapter 18, verses 21. And Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation will be volume 1. 1 second here. Purim. This falls on the 14th date and 15th date of the 12th month. This is on Thursday, February 25th, and Friday, February 26th. And you can read about this in Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. Remind occupant Agua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. Shalom.